Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to the Great War Western Front, a new game out by Petroglyph Games where you play World War I on the Western Front. I am playing as the Germans, or the Central Powers. It is 1917 in our Let's Play series. We're in the summer of 1917, and so far things are going pretty well for us. We did have one setback early in the war where the French took the province of Leon from us, but other than that, we've taken Arras, we've taken Hazebrouck, and we've weakened Ypres, as well as defending successfully against a number of enemy assaults. And we are trying to overrun Ypres this turn so we can shorten our front. If we take Ypres, we'll have to put one unit here, but then we'll actually free basically 3 units, 3 hexes will move into one. So we'll have a considerable shortening of our front by taking that objective, which will make us better situated to deal with the Americans, which have recently joined the war. Additionally, the hope is that by taking Ypres, we can then focus on Dunkirk or Bray, Le Boussière, and then we can attack Calais from 2 directions and reduce the British capital in the game where all their supplies flow into the continent. But yeah, that's the hope right now. We are working on a couple of events right now that'll give us extra national morale. One of them is defeating 3 Mark I tanks. We haven't actually seen any of these yet. And then apparently there's also a revolt in Villers-Bretonneux, which can't attack at all this turn, but they can defend. So it doesn't really matter a whole lot as far as I can tell. Yeah, they won't. So it doesn't really matter if they decide they don't want to attack, because we're not going to be attacking there. But we will be attacking Ypres. We already have attacked it once successfully this turn out of Hazebrouck. We had 2 battalions of tanks, 1 of air, 2 siege artillery units, and a bunch of infantry attacking out of Hazebrouck. And the goal will now be to continue that attack this turn and attack it out of Lille, which is a slightly weaker formation. We have 1,200 supply. Hazebrouck had 1,900. We do have 600 from the global supply, so that does help. We also do have 1 tank battalion, 1 siege artillery battalion, and 1 aviation battalion to go with 7 infantry corps, 1 of them elite and 6 of them just regular corps. So we will be trying to win another battle at the Ypres hex, and if we do, we can reduce the stars down to 1 and possibly take Ypres this turn, or if not this turn, hopefully next turn. With that being said, let's go ahead and just jump right in and launch the attack out of Lille. Our last attack, we went in with 6 tanks. This time we're only going to have 1 battalion of tanks, so that means 3 tanks total. But hopefully that's enough. I don't think we needed all 6 last time, so we'll see how we can fare here. The projected result of this battle is a minor loss. The enemy has 6 corps in defense. We have, what, 7 attacking, and then we've also got all the infantry and support elements. But they have 15 battle fatigue, so I think we have a chance. We didn't really use much supply in our last battle. We actually have most of what we fought the last battle with. Alternatively, we could attack out of Oudenarde first with our, what, 9 corps or 8 corps, and that would increase the battle fatigue at Ypres, and then that would set up the attack out of Lille perhaps more. But I have this faint hope that if we win through Lille, that we might be able to win with just the infantry out of Oudenarde. So we'll see. Let's go ahead and attack out of Lille, and we will see what happens here. I'm also thinking, based on what some of the folks said in the chat in my YouTube videos, is maybe it would be sound not to use siege artillery in the pre-battle bombardment phase to save some supply. But we'll see. I just don't know that it's super helpful, right? Like, it helps if they destroy machine gun nests, but other than that, destroying forts can sometimes get in the way of success. All right, so here we have our front. It's this sort of split front line, if you will. We have fought on this map before, but it's a pretty crater strewn field. In fact, the forest in front of A is completely gone, which means I'm not entirely sure what the best route to attack is. A has like 4 lines of trenches here, And interestingly enough, no, there's still a command trench here. The AI is not, in my opinion, the best at designing their trenches. What they really should do is they should have independent lines that do not link with each other so that you have to go back over the top to get to the next trench line. Anytime you link with a comms trench, once your troops are established in that first line, they don't have to go back over the top, and they can just move through your trenches pretty effectively. All right, so they've got this line moves further north. The command trench is relatively lightly guarded. I'm assuming on this map they usually throw their artillery in here between the command and B, and then B is pretty heavily defended, but it is also isolated here. So let's see what we want to do here. I'm assuming the enemy's going to throw some tanks forward at us. They've done that every single time. We are going to, first things first, I'm not going to build any new trenches. I don't think we need to. And putting in machine gun nests might be a waste of money in this particular fight too. I think we will focus on B like we usually do, because we can actually advance through this forest here, which will give our troops cover like right up to the point where they're going over the top. So focusing on B first, taking that objective, and then swinging east to take the command trench, and then advancing through this wood line into the rear of A. I think that's like my stock strategy. Attacking A seems like maybe it would be a decent, you know, change of pace, but honestly in this scenario I think it makes more sense to continue to assault toward B first. We're going to put our elite infantry in here. We're going to put 5 companies in there. We're then going to put some grenadiers in to help with the initial assault, and we'll pack this with more regular infantry. Grenadiers are fairly expensive, but I think we can afford it. In addition to that, we're going to go ahead and put some regular infantry on this defensive line here. So if the enemy does try and throw some tanks in against us and try to break through and take our objectives and sort of disrupt things, we'll have some troops in place. We're also going to upgrade these trenches here to make them more sort of resilient to enemy tanks and artillery fire. And actually, I should have, the order I did that was stupid, because now I've got to replace these troops. Okay. It's interesting that the trenches have like a little gap here at the end where it's like almost like, I don't know if it's covered or what, but all right, so we'll put those guys there. All right, so I'm assuming if the enemy attacks with tanks, they'll come that direction, and those troops will be better guarded against tanks in their advanced trenches. I don't know if I plan to use the tanks against B at all. I kind of think I should, but I do worry Y is a little bit vulnerable to enemy artillery fire. Still, it might not be a bad idea. Okay. All right, let's look at artillery first before we do anything else. So light field artillery is a must to support the advance. And if we put them here, they can support. Wow, we don't even have to put them anywhere near that far forward. We put them here. So actually, further forward, these guys can hit almost all of the command trench, and they can hit B too, all of B. So we'll put 1 artillery battery there. These guys can hit the right flank of B while also hitting most of A. They can hit half of B, the right flank of B. They can hit most of the command trenches, or at least some of them. And they can hit most of A if we put them like this. So we'll do that. Okay. All right, I think that's pretty good. So we'll do 3 light artillery batteries. We'll do 2 heavies. And this can hit most of the potential objectives. We could slide these down here a little bit. All right, that's good. All right, so we will have 5 artillery batteries total. These guys are behind some decent defenses, although if the enemy sends armor against us, we will have to deal with that. To that end, let's just throw an MG nest or two in here, just as defense. I don't know that we want to put barbed wire here. I guess we put it in front of the hexes that have the approach to the artillery. And then maybe we help the defenses in the south out a little bit with a little bit of barbed wire, although enemy tanks won't really be bothered too much by it. Infantry will, though, so there's that. We will also put a field mortar back here, because I've been told they help against tanks in case they come through that way. And we'll put one MG nest there, too. Through that gap. We could put two. But I think that might be a waste. I don't think it's likely they're going to attack in the south. I could be wrong. We'll see. All right, so balloon. Can put a balloon here. It'll give us information on the B objective. Why can't these balloons like? Guess we'll put it here. I don't know. This will make them a little bit vulnerable, but put a balloon there. I haven't been a huge fan of balloons lately, to be honest. They just kind of seem a little bit expensive for marginal utility. But right. So that's all of our true. Oh shoot, forgot about the tanks. We probably should buy the tanks now. Although I can't afford them, or I can afford at least some. Maybe we drop the balloon in favor of the tanks, because the tanks are cheaper, considerably cheaper pre-battle. So put the tanks over here. I'm assuming they can move through the forest. I don't really know. But if we put the tanks over here, then we'll get all three tanks. Well, let's actually have one in reserve. Not that I want to spend more money. But I think just in case they hit me, because I am in a little bit more of a vulnerable position here, we'll put one in reserve. And we'll go without the balloon. So, actually, we'll just send one of our conscript or one of our regular infantry units forward to scout the ground out. All right. We'll begin. Let's see what the enemy has in store for us. Thank you for the sub, Commissar. 15 months, appreciated. All right, we didn't do a pre-battle bombardment this time. That was by choice. We'll go ahead and send one infantry unit forward here. Although it's going to be harder to like really get a good sense of what the enemy has. And maybe the forest will help. There is an enemy balloon around here somewhere, right? Those are some troops. I'm assuming they've got a balloon, which we'll want to take out before we launch our assault. And we'll use our arty against it. It's over here, right? Yeah, right. So the balloon is here. This is its wagon, I think, that it's winched to. So we're going to try and take it out right away with a whole bunch of artillery. I could do an air attack with balloon busters, but honestly, I'd rather just hit it with a whole bunch of arty. Ah! By the way, guys, can you hear me okay over the explosions and stuff? Mix looks okay. I could turn it down a little bit if needed. There goes the balloon. Okay, so these guys are getting shot to pieces. There's a machine gun nest there, though, so that's good. Spotted that. Oops. You can't hear me over your PTSD. Well, that can't be helped. I'm sorry. All right, we'll hit this mortar with our... I don't know why, but the light artillery seems better, at least dealing with MGs. I don't know about mortars, but at least MGs it does. All right, our troops are laying down here. Oh, shit. Just how about you halt? Don't move. Our boys here providing intelligence, a recon. Apparently, balloon crews had parachutes, by the way. I did not know that, but apparently it is true that balloons had parachutes, and they would, as the balloons were destroyed, they would parachute, I think, or at least they had some. I swear I was reading a World War I book where it was like, yeah, and then the crew would parachute to safety. I don't know how true that is. I'm sure they were very primitive versions, if they had anything. All right. So that looks like it's all of the enemy MGs, at least in the first two trenches, based on our line of sight here. Just the one MG and then the one trench mortar. No sign of any enemy attack in the south, which is good, because that's where we're vulnerable. No sign of enemy attacks in the center. Alright, that thing is almost dead. That kind of sucks. Really? I'm gonna have to spend another 6 supply on suppressing you, or whatever, 9 supply. I don't actually have that much supply in reserve. Alright, so we destroyed the enemy balloon, and we've also knocked out an enemy MG nest up here. So let's begin the assault. Alright, boys. Hit that first trench. I don't know what they have out here to the right. Oops. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We will use rolling barrage to give them cover. This second line of troops will advance into this wood line here. And these guys into this wood line here. And we'll see what the enemy chucks at us. Most of our arty is ready. Crims, I think, whoops. Halt. Don't get yourself shot up by the enemy arty. Wait and let them waste their fire. Oh shit, I'm already getting shot up. Alright, rolling barrage now, please. I guess we'll hit these guys like this. I'm trying to save cash by not using gas. There we go. That already might not be coming in far enough ahead. I guess those grenadiers did hit that trench line pretty well, like just right behind the arty. These guys are going to withdraw. Never wrong to gas people. I mean, sometimes it's not the most efficient tactic, I feel. Alright, so we're hitting that first line of trenches. The boys are going in. We've got our foothold. No sign of the enemy troops here, though. It doesn't look like they've manned this point too thoroughly. I'm kind of intrigued by that. Oh, shit. Are they attacking? Crap. They're attacking in the south. Okay. Hey, tank. How about you go help? Although maybe not against commandos. They might... I don't know. The enemy's launching some kind of attack, or at least they're probing down here. The French do have flamethrowers. Alright, no sign of the enemy troops in these second line of trenches. I would have thought we would have seen something. So we're going to advance through their comms trench. That's the advantage of not doing the pre-battle bombardment. We didn't get hit too badly with any kind of... Or we didn't hit the enemy too badly, so we didn't, like, destroy their trenches, so we can actually move. Oh shit, they've got airburst, boys. Do you guys see those explosions in the air? They've got airburst artillery, which can be pretty devastating to certain types of trenches. Alright, they're attacking in the south. Let's get that tank down there. It can provide some cover. Doesn't look like it's... They are shelling my MGs in the south. Or at least there was one shelling there. So maybe they're focusing their efforts on attacking me rather than anything else. I'm not sure. I'm curious. I'm assuming their artillery's over here. Well, let's push in. The timer is paused at the moment. They are hitting me with some trench mortars, so I'm going to move some troops out that way to silence them. No sign of enemy troops that are actually in any of these trench lines. I'm curious if they have anything in that bunker back here. Major enemy attack coming here. Okay. Alright, they've got flamethrower troops. Their tanks are lending support to the defense. These guys look like they changed their mind and shifted south. Flamethrower troops the AI does not know how to use. They generally will throw one round of flame and then jump right in the trench, which they are not great melee troops. So that seems silly. Because yeah, they're getting obliterated here in the melee. Which you, my understanding of what you want to do is you kind of want to micro them where you leave them outside the trench and then you let them deal with the enemy. Like you clear the trench with the troops outside of the trench. And then they can be very effective, but the AI just jumps them in the trench. Meanwhile, we took B. No enemy troops up here. Let's move through this wood line. I'm assuming there's enemy troops out here. This is where the command trench is, over this way. It feels like this line may be more vulnerable, but we'll see. We did fight here once before, as I remember, and it wasn't the easiest time. Let's actually put some troops in this bunker. They're safe from enemy artillery fire. Alright, let's pull this tank. I'm going to move this tank north to B. I don't have... I do have the money to buy another tank, but I don't have the cap limit. Let's withdraw this guy. He's pretty badly shot up. Kind of curious. I don't see anything out this way. Where is their artillery? Alright, so they've actually lost more than us so far. These guys are elites. I'd rather scout a forward with not elite troops. Let's put the grenadiers in this trench too. Okay. So as I remember last time on this map, we were not able to take this initial trench line without immense cost, and then that prevented us from effectively leaping over to the command trench. I'm hopeful that the tanks will help us in that regard. Oops. All right, so we are 15 minutes in. I guess we're going to scout ahead just to see what the enemy's got out here. I'm assuming they've already replaced their losses on those assaults on the south. Where are they? Is this trench line really empty? I've never seen anything like this. Their artillery's here, which great, go destroy it. Like, what's going on here? Can the AI be so broke they can't defend? Like, did they lose so much cash in the last battle that they can't defend here? I'm kind of confused. It says they should have resources to defend. This is weird because they've got 6 cores. I don't think this is a bug, but I mean, we did win a battle in this specific, well, not quite this hex, but we did win a battle in this like adjacent hex, in the Ypres hex from a different direction. But it's a little bit confusing to me. Like, I'm going to take advantage and push these guys forward here. These guys are getting hit from troops in this trench line to the south, so one of these companies got shot up. Let's move these guys down here. So there's at least one company down here. Oh, no, there's several. Pause. Actually, no, you guys get in the command trench, both of you. Observe there. You guys are finishing up that enemy artillery. Gonna hit these guys as they try and come up. I mean, I suppose they could have thrown everything in the southern trenches. That's not usually how the AI plays it, though. That's a strange tactic for them. Either way, though, it's given up at least 2 of their artillery batteries for basically nothing for me, so I'm okay with that. We're gonna bring our tanks forward here to support the troops fighting here in this trench line. Stop licking the gift horse in the mouse. It just feels like something's wrong. I don't know. All right, let's hit these guys as they move up. That already is helping tremendously as those enemy units try to move forward here. So, 1 French infantry retreated. There's another artillery battery down here. We should defeat this next unit. We're also fighting in the command trench. We defeated 2 batteries of artillery down here in the south. Right, let's go support these guys with our tanks moving across no man's land.
Wir müssen diese Stellung halten.
Those French morale sucks. Tanks absolutely destroy morale of troops, apparently, which is nice. Let's get our tanks down here, see if they can knock out those enemy batteries. We're taking the command post. Right, move those troops to the southern portion. Tanks can chew up enemy infantry as they try and counterattack north. That tank is drifting. Okay, nice. We're coming in behind the enemy positions, and these tanks are just shredding these guys as they try and move north to deal with me. They deal with the, nice. They use their cannons against the enemy artillery. We already got 2 of the 5 guns there. There you go. All right, enemy troops are attacking ours down here.
Wir haben neue Befehle. Wir haben neue Befehle. Befehle gehen ein. Rückt zu dieser Position vor. Für Befehle.
Let's move those tanks in.
Warten auf Befehle. Die Generäle wollen diesen Abschlussstellung einnehmen.
I'm kind of going to cross no man's land in a sense. There's a lot of enemy infantry here coordinating in on my tanks.
Wir kommen wohl zu spät zur Party.
Move these guys forward here to hit the enemy from the other side. Our tanks are losing some health. Tanks, pull back here. You're getting hit too hard. Nice. Our other tanks coming up. Getting them from both sides. Converging attacks. Okay. Commandos coming up. Troops are coming up this way. Right, let's withdraw these guys before they die so we can get some cash back for them. Bring in fresh reserves. Shouldn't you be attacking the troops like right in front of you? Flamethrower troops. Whole bunch of enemy troops out this way. Let's move in behind and see if we can get to within striking distance of A. Alright, go attack toward A.
Wir haben neue Befehle. Wir haben neue Befehle. Bereit an der Linie. Bereit machen. Vorwärts. Befehle gehen. Rücken zu dieser Position vor. Warten auf Befehle. An die Linie. Bereit für Befehle. Wählt eure Ziele. Bereit.
I don't have a lot of supply left.
Warte auf Befehle. Wir brechen auf.
We'll see. The enemy doesn't either, however. If we look at the actual numbers up here, they're pretty depleted. Nice. This commando unit's caught between three sides of enemy friendly tanks. Can we get in here to give some morale support to these guys? Oh, they're sending everything they got.
Wir sind eingetroffen und warten auf Befehle. Wir haben neue Befehle. Wir haben neue Befehle. In Stellung gehen.
All right, let's see what they've got left. These guys are probably going to surrender. They do.
Bereit. Feuer frei. Bereit machen. Bereit an der Linie.
Here.
Achtung. An die Linie. Warte auf Befehle. Vorwärts. Feuer.
Take out that enemy tank or enemy. Or okay, so there's enemy machine gun nests.
Diese Stellung.
I think we can hit this thing with our arty. We're taking A. So the enemy does still have some troops left. Not many. I don't want to lose any tanks here if we don't have to. That would be a considerable loss in supply. But we'll push forward here. Enemy trench mortars are going to knock one of these companies out, probably. Oh, no, we actually just destroyed it. Nice. Wow, those tanks take out those fixed positions like you just click it and they're gone. Nice. The enemy, it looks like they've got one unit left somewhere on the map, but doesn't matter. We're gonna win this thing. Victory. So the AI is lacking in this battle. They sure are. We've lost a fair bit of battles in the past though, so another victory at Ypres. That's 2 this turn. So that'll reduce them from 3 to 2 stars. We spent 635 gold. The enemy spent 1250. So economically, a bad battle for them too. We lost about 2,800 elite troops, 760 basic troops. So about 3,500 casual, well, about 3,600 casualties when you include our grenadiers total for us, against 5,000 allied casualties and 15 guns. We didn't run into any enemy tanks this time, but we did destroy a balloon and a number of positions there. So pretty decisive victory there. Plus 10 national morale for us, negative 20 for them. Reduction of Ypres from 2 stars to 1, so they've lost 2 stars this turn. And we're one successful attack at Ypres away from taking the hex. But that'll be for another time. In the meantime, we're going to wrap this episode up, so I hope you guys enjoyed yet another look at the Great War Western Front. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.